guys? It's your boy the Kryptonian Saiyan here, bringing you a review for One Piece chapter 187. And I'm gonna say it now. I reserve the right to change my opinion, but right now this fight with Sanji and Bon Clay is probably gonna be my favorite for the arc. You know, when I go back and I read the Usopp fight over, I see where there's supposed to be moments where I'm supposed to laugh, and it didn't really hit me like that. Maybe after this arc is over, I can go back and re-rank my favorite fights, and I might be able to appreciate the Usopp fight even more. You know, because again, I can see where I would have laughed. Maybe it's because my expectations for the Usopp fight were so high, and they end up being right here. They weren't all the way down here; they were just here. So somewhere in the middle. So I'll probably move the Usopp fight up. But this Sanji Bon Clay fight, normally I get really pissed off when stuff happens off panel. I really feel like that cheats your reader. And this is why. The reason why this cheats your reader is when you don't show what happens off screen and the reader is left to kind of fill in the blanks themselves. When it's a fight that you anticipate as a reader, or there's a lot of potential for it, like this build up and then you just immediately flash away. Like we see these two confront each other and then you jump to another scene and you see a whole nother fight take place from start to finish, and then you jump off right in the middle of this. It cheats your reader simply for the fact that we don't know what happened. The best way to put this is you can go back to Uryu versus Xyloperlo, Uryu and Renji versus Xyloperlo in Bleach. You know, a lot of that shit happened off panel, and it pissed me off when I was reading it because I want to know what the hell happened. Another example is in Naruto, how you had Kakashi take out all seven former ninja swordsmen of the mist. He goes into a rage mode, lifts up the Sharingan, he's got Zabuza's a weapon on him and everything, and then what happens? Next thing you know, he shows up to help Naruto and save Naruto from being captured. Like, that was bullshit. Now, granted, you know, Oda didn't do it to this level. I would have been more pissed off if we just would have seen Bon Clay on the ground and Sanji saying, "You're a shitty fighter." I'd have fucking lost it. I'm too far into One Piece to drop it, but god damn it, I'd be fucking pissed. This would be a rant video. But with that being said, part of the reason why I like this is Oda does a good job of incorporating humor into the fight. We know that both these guys, they've been trading blows. Neither one of them get the upper hand on each other. But Bon Clay is using some type of crane style of fighting. That was pretty cool. I wouldn't have expected Oda to incorporate some martial arts styles into these One Piece fights. But even looking at this, like the way Sanji fights, it really comes off as more technical. You know, like just in the limited stuff I've seen, you know, he uses his legs in a lot of forms of martial arts. You know, the legs are, you know, key towards your ability. But at the same time, he comes off really technical. He reminds me of Vegeta a lot. When Vegeta fights, he's going for pressure points. He's not really wasting any movements. Look at Vegeta versus Golden Frieza. He wasn't dicking around like Goku. When he's punching for areas that get a reaction and to methodically break you down. And that's how I see Sanji with his fighting. And what I thought was interesting on this is the fact that Bon Clay looks like he has that level of elegance to his fighting style as well. But Oda just throws the humor in there where you see Sanji and he's looking at Bon Clay. Bon Clay's like, "I'm going to make the ugliest face in the world. It's going to be the funniest face. And you're going to laugh and it's going to create an opening." And Sanji looks and he's like, "That's just your normal face. You fucking fuck off." He didn't say fucking fuck off. That's the Kryptonian translation. That's why you don't want me translating any mangas or anything, because I get very creative with the shit. But I like how right there Sanji flips it and says, "You just gave me an opening." He just decks him. And then when Bon Clay transforms into another face, once again Sanji decks him. And another anime example, I cannot recall the name of it, but this was like a mid-90s shonen. And basically what happened was like it was another transformation type character. And just like what Sanji did, this character was a girl, just kept knocking the dude in his face every time he transformed. And she's basically like, "I don't give a fuck who you transform into. I know it's you." So I like seeing that, you know, it's paying homage to that, because I can't remember the series for the life of me, but it came out before One Piece. So with all that being said, I do want to say that Bon Clay transforming into Nami and just picking up on the word heart and being able to understand that that's what makes Sanji tick, very nice. Very nice. And it just shows you, you know, one of the things about people, if you pay attention to the way they speak and the word patterns, you know, for a lot of my younger viewers, you know, that's actually a study once you get to the collegiate level, you know, syntax, dialogue, dialect, like those type of things, they tell you so much about a person. And just seeing how Bon Clay is able to pick out from the word heart that Sanji is a romantic and that he is a chivalrous guy, you know, the thing that you see is he says, I gotta transform into a chick. And right away, Sanji's like, oh shit. Like, he gets into the perverted mode. So it looks like, you know, tables been turned a little bit. But I like seeing that because Bon Clay came off very silly from a good bit of this chapter. But at the same time, you see the intelligent side of him. It's something so small that you would miss it if it wasn't pointed out, I think. So, with that being said, I want to move on to Vivi. And the thing about Vivi, I'm okay with it. We see Koza, you know, he's still kind of recovering from his wounds. He's still fighting forward. The thing that's driving him on is just this passion that he has, this determination to take back his country, to change his country, to take it back from who he feels has been doing wrong. And that's cool. Don't get me wrong. I respect the hell out of it. And just seeing how they flash over to Vivi and Vivi's out of breath and they ask her, is she a rebel? And then she reveals herself. I mean, that was cool. That was cool to see both of them just putting everything into their causes. That was cool. I can't wait for these two to meet. But Vivi makes a very interesting decision. She asks Chaka to destroy the palace. And she says that she'll be able to get everyone's attention that way. That's really going to some extremes. And I'm really wondering where Oda is going to be taking this. Is this his way of saying that by destroying the palace, that you tear down the old version of Alabasta and you build a new one? And you build a new one with Vivi and maybe even Koza as an advisor or something. I'm not sure if that's the direction he's going. That would be very poetic if that was the instance. And if that, or not instance, if that was the circumstances that he was trying to put in play to make that happen, then I could kind of roll with that. But, you know, overall, very fun chapter to read, man. This is probably one of the more fun chapters in this arc. Probably when I go back and just reflect on this arc, I'm going to rate this chapter probably towards the top, probably in my top 3. My chapter question for you guys is, what did you think about Sanji and Bon Clay's fighting styles? Were you like me? Did you look at the way Bon Clay was fighting and say, damn, he's a little tactical, where at the same time you look at Sanji, and Sanji is trying to think for openings as well. What were your thoughts? How would you describe their fighting styles? I guess that's a better question. But as always, if you like anything I had to say, hit that like button, comment, rate, subscribe, share. Greatly appreciate it. That's it. Thanks for watching.